Thanks for joining us for our Working AI series. And today we're here to talk about Glean's developer platform and our recently announced support for the Model Context Protocol, LangChain, and LangGraph. I'm joined today with Steve, who runs our developer experience here at Glean. And he's going to share a little bit more about what he's been working on.
Right, so I work primarily on Glean's developer platform, and that is extending capabilities that allow you to build on top of Glean. Glean already has some fantastic capabilities on the platform already. So it has some fantastic APIs, a great web SDK that makes it really easy to embed Glean in other applications. And we're looking to round that out with additional offerings. So those would be SDKs around creating custom connectors, for instance, to index more data, or providing additional SDKs to build out agents and agent capabilities. And Glean's general approach is that we want to be an open and extensible work AI platform.
Agent interoperability is a very hot topic. I was wondering if you could share a little bit about how you compare and contrast an agent platform versus an agent framework.
Yeah, the way I think about an agent platform is with Glean, you've got 100+ data sources indexing your data into a secure environment, and you've got secure access to that data. And that means that users only see what they're allowed to see. And this actually extends to your agents. Agents will only be able to access data on your behalf that they're allowed to see. In contrast, agent frameworks are more about building external agent capabilities, but largely targeted at developers who are writing code and building agents in the framework of their choice.
Glean now supports Anthropic's Model Context Protocol. This is something that's new. I can understand a concept of an agent framework, but I struggle a little bit with MCP and specifically how this differs from APIs that are available today. Could you kind of walk us through why MCP is gaining such widespread adoption right now?
Yeah, sure. MCP is one of the protocols that is actually evolving in the agent space. There's a number of them, and MCP is definitely one, and definitely one that's popular. I guess one way to think about it, and the way I think about it, is the difference between MCP and APIs is we're providing ways for LLMs to make outbound calls to different tools. Now, if you were to do that with just regular APIs, you'd have to create these purpose-built tools that expose those APIs every single time and figure out a way to allow that LLM to call those tools in a deterministic way. Now, MCP actually provides an abstraction around that to have a consistent set of endpoints that you query to find information about the tools that are available and then execute them in a consistent manner. So MCP is just providing you an additional abstraction to make it easier to interact with these external APIs.
I hear you've put together some demos of using Glean's MCP server and Glean and LangChain. Want to show it off?
Sure, yeah. The first demo I'm going to show is with our MCP server. So what I've done was I've configured our MCP server in Cursor, which is one of the popular AI IDEs that people are using these days. And I'm going to send a prompt over to that MCP server, which is then going to use Glean's tools to be able to retrieve information. So I'm starting the request, and the MCP server has identified that it needs to go and search Glean.
And this is a great example if someone needs additional context around the code that they're writing.
Exactly, yeah. So you can look up additional information that may not actually exist in your repository that you're working on. So as you can see, our MCP server has queried Glean. We've gotten a response there, and we're synthesizing the result for you directly in the editor's chat window.
Nice. Do you want to flip us over to LangChain?
Sure. And now I'm going to demonstrate a LangChain integration with Glean as well. So on the left side here, I have a fast API server that's running a LangChain agent. And I'm going to start that server right now. And then on the right-hand side, I'm going to run a query against that agent that is going to ultimately call Glean internally. So first we do a connectivity test just to make sure that we can communicate with Glean directly. And then we're actually sending a request through the agent to make that request to Glean and return the response. And there we go. We've got the response and we've rendered it out.
Awesome. Yeah, so these are just two examples of potential frameworks that you could use for some sort of coding assistant or coding agent type of use case. I'm curious, where do you see agent interoperability in the near future?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we've touched on MCP, which is an emerging protocol for agent-to-tool calls. Of course, there's a number of other protocols that are emerging for agent-to-agent communication, such as LangChain's agent protocol, and then agency, which is also another offering that's emerging. But I think what we're going to increasingly see is agents interoperating, but also we're going to be delegating more and more work to those agents exclusively. So you won't necessarily be crafting a set of deterministic steps for that agent to perform. We're going to delegate the work to the agent and allow it to self-plan and execute the tasks.
Yeah, super cool that we're going to start to see these agents operating almost autonomously and be able to communicate back and forth. I really see this breaking down a lot of barriers around getting work done that crosses multiple application experiences.
Agreed.
Super cool demo. Really appreciate you walking us through this. Where can viewers of this give it a try?
Yeah, so we're actually starting to build more and more directly in open source. So you can go to developers.glean.com, and that's our developer portal. That has a lot of examples around integrating with our APIs, SDKs, and then of course agents. And then in our Gleanwork open source org, we're actually starting to publish more and more open source integrations for agents for everyone to collaborate and work on together.
Thanks to you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate everybody joining us today. And if you want to learn more, go to developers.glean.com. Take care.